Hey guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to The Dyslexic Reader, and today we are going to be reviewing The Girl Who Lost Her Smile by Miranda Hart. Miranda Hart is a well-known British comedian, and this is her first fiction book, and it's aimed at middle grade age children, and the illustrations are done by Kate Hindley, and I must say the cover is beautiful. There's the back, and the underneath is a gorgeous shade of yellow. Yellow's my favourite colour. And the illustrations throughout the book are really beautiful as well, if I can find some. Without spoilers. They're like a really nice, kind of unique, but a style that everyone would enjoy, I think. So that's the first thing to say about how the book looks. But moving on to the most important bit, which is the content of the story. This is about a girl called Chloe, who is going through a bit of trouble in her home life, but she's known for being a very smiley, happy, jokey girl. But with all the turmoil going on at home, she loses her smile, and her grandma's coming to visit and she wants to get her smile back before grandma arrives. So she gets two magical friends that help her on a quest to recover her smile, and that's kind of all I want to say about the story because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, and I think you would be better going in knowing as little as possible. I thought the concept of this book was really interesting. I thought it was a good idea and it was unique. It was something I haven't seen quite done this way before, and the flow and the pacing of the writing was great as well. One of the downsides I did have about the book was, well, it's not really a downside, but just a point for if you're buying this for a child or anything. In the writing styles, I don't know if you can really see it on camera, some of the words are done, so this is the word laughing, and every time laughing's done, it's done in this curly script. Smiles always done in this like bold script, and on the pages where these words like reappear, like common words, they're always done in like a different font. And with dyslexia, that was very hard for me to read, and it would be very hard for anybody with dyslexia to read. It really pulled me out of the story a wee bit. It just cut the flow. I was in the flow of reading and then I sort of had to stop and go, what is that? So that's just a note on the dyslexia point of view. Like the kind of font of the reading was a bit hard. Now obviously if you're reading it to a dyslexic, or if you're reading it with your child and we're there to support them through it, it would be fine. So Chloe's parents are arguing in the book. That's kind of the start of the unhappy home life. And I would say I'm not sure I would read this. Well, I would read the book to any age of child, really, I think. But I wouldn't give this book to read on their own, probably to anyone under the age of about 12. And hear me through on this one. If you were reading the book with a child, you could explain to them what was going on. But Chloe's parents are arguing, and right from the start she feels like it is her fault. And it's only at the end of the book she has a realisation that it's not her fault that the parents are arguing. And I feel like if a child was reading this on their own and didn't have an adult to explain, or maybe if you are a teacher or an educator like I am, and you are reading this to a class, it could take you a long time to get through this book if you were reading it to a class, weeks. And I feel like unless you had an intelligent discussion, the children would get the wrong message. They might start to think that, wait a minute, I heard mum and dad arguing the other night, is that me? And I feel like it could worry a lot of children unless it was properly explained to them and talked through. So under the age of about 12, I think a 12-year-old would understand, but under the age of about that kind of age, I don't think I would give this to a child to read independently in case it confused them. I would like to say that the reactions in this book are very understandable and relatable and truthful. Between young and old, male and female, everyone reacts to the situation in a different way, but a completely believable way, and I think that's really important within children's literature. Sometimes when you fantasize these things, like there's a touch of fantasy in this, you kind of lose that realistic aspect, and then the whole point of the story is almost lost because you're trying to teach children a lesson, but if you give them an unrealistic example, that doesn't kind of work as well. So I thought that was done really well. And also it showed mental illness, sadness, loneliness, all those kind of things in a range of people, affecting them in a different way and how different people cope with it. Young, old, boy, girl, again, it showed loads of different reasons why someone might be feeling sad and how different people coped with it. And I think that's really important for children to understand, that an elderly person can be just as sad and lonely as a little girl, as to someone who appears really happy but might have something else going on behind that. They still might be feeling sad even if they're smiling and chatting. And I think that was a really, really important lesson of the book as well. So overall, I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't perfect for me because of, as I said, the font, which is a printing issue, which has nothing to do with the story, but as dyslexic, it kept pulling me out of the story and making it difficult to get a flow. And also the fact that I think a child would need support and explanation while reading this. There would need to be a good, healthy discussion about what was going on. I think to leave it to the end to kind of explain it, although is great for the story, could confuse some children and make them feel a bit guilty themselves. So that's just something to think about. I think as a classroom book, this would be fabulous. But again, you would have to from the very start discuss that Chloe feels guilty for this, but it is not her fault. That doesn't come in the book to the very end, and I don't think you could leave it to the end because it builds up and you keep thinking everything is her fault, and it would really need to be discussed, especially with the younger age. Like really, I think the contents of the story is suitable for like 7+, but again, it would need to be supported. It couldn't be an independent read, I don't think. I wouldn't, anyway, personally, give it as an independent read just for those aforementioned reasons. Thank you for joining me today on my book review. I did really enjoy this book, you guys, and it was a quick read as well. I said the font was pulling me out, but I had this done in 2 days. I hope you're all happy, I hope you're all healthy, and hopefully you'll see me in my next video. Goodbye!